I just love music. Like, I've always loved it. When I was really little, I used to lie underneath the piano and just listen to the sounds coming over my head, because I come from a huge family, 10 children, and I'm the 10th. So my older brothers and sisters would be playing, and I just sort of fell in love with it very, very young. And that love affair for sound, or the desire to make sound, or the curiosity for the other sounds that people are making, is so alive in me as if I was still a child. And so the thought of being able to get up in the morning and go to my drafting table and make a new symphonic piece or a new solo piano piece or whatever it might be, it kind of comes from that original love affair, the sort of the joy of the sound. And I think that's what brings me back to the table every day. For me, the actual very specific sound that I want is very important. Like the difference between ja and ja. They're very similar, but they're actually profoundly different if we were to analyze this too. And to just really have such a clean idea of the sound that one wants, and then to notate it and to hear it performed with like the perfect bow speed, great intonation, beautiful blend. Every time that happens, that's like a huge joy for me. You know, this certain sound was imagined and executed, and hopefully captured on a recording, but that's rarely the case. But you know, those are very beautiful, pure, meaningful moments to me. And I suppose if you ask me about my career, like what's important, I would say that's important. That really matters to me. If I could try to describe the way I think of music, I would draw like a big circle, and then inside of it I would put a lot of words. Counterpoint, harmony, rhythm, harmonic rhythm, pitch, flow, flux, density, tessitura, balance, you know, and so on and so forth. And for me, you can't, it's very like a big huge gestalt. It's a gestalt circle, so that you can't actually separate out and say, okay, well, this could be removed, because if you're talking about harmony, you're also talking about pitch. And if you're talking about pitch, you're also talking about tessitura. And if you're talking about tessitura, you're talking about instrumentation. If you're talking about instrumentation, you're talking about color. And you know, it's like they're all connected with this beautiful web. And I very much like to think of my works as being in that kind of a gestalt. So that while I can talk about rhythmic independently, or I could talk about harmony independently, for me they instantly plug back into that gestalt. For an audience member at an orchestral concert with a world premiere, let's say the piece is 20 minutes long and they're hearing it performed once. There's an enormous amount of information that's being transmitted. It's almost like reading an entire novel in 20 minutes. And it's a lot to digest, even for the specialists, even for the performers. I mean, this is, you know, a big, very thoughtfully created work. Takes some time to get to know. As such, I feel that we really need recordings. That if orchestras could literally record everything they do and get it up on the radio and make it accessible, make it downloadable, allow people to hear it many, many times, I think if you multiply that out by 30 years, 50 years, it's going to make such a huge difference to the education of the audience and the enjoyment and the beauty of the art form. I'm a complete optimist. I may sound like a fool, But I have a lot of hope because I basically get up every day and I write orchestral music. And to do that, you have to be either crazy or have a lot of hope. So, I mean, I really believe in the instrument. I believe in its past repertoire. I believe in what tons of composers are writing for it today. I think it's vibrant and vivid, and there's nothing like a great orchestra performing a great piece. I mean, it's just so moving. And so I think that it's all positive. In a way, we just have to be willing to keep going forward. You know, you have to be who you are. You have to know your own truth. You have to get up every day and face another piece of blank paper and create a piece that you may not even get a recording of, or might not be perfectly played, or whatever it might be. Someone will cough through the entire world premiere. And you know, it's kind of depressing. But whatever the situation is, you have to get up and you have to make the next one. And I've always admired painters. They make a painting and they get up and make another painting. And for myself, that's very much been part of my process. Sometimes my husband will say, you know, why don't you take like a morning off, or why don't you take a day off or something? Or my friends will say, Gusty, like, let's go out for dinner. Hello, you know. But I'm so like on my path that I want to make the next one up. And I start to think about, I mean, I have terrible insomnia also, just thinking about the next sound. So it's really just this huge, long, ever extended journey.